Hello, and welcome back to the Time on Feed podcast. George is looking at his burger baby right now.
Yeah.
My name's Alyssa.
I'm George, the guy with the burger baby. We just had some smashed burgers for dins.
Thanks
Yum, yum,
for
yum.
joining us today.
Yeah.
Today we're talking stuff.
Sorry. I wore a sleeveless shirt.
I
so
know.
I could show
Anytime
off
he wears a sleeveless shirt or is
my
shirtless.
guns. My pythons. Sorry.
So,
How are you doing, hon?
I'm good.
Good.
After that little show.
Put me in front of a camera and that's what you get. Flexing.
That's right. Today we're going to be talking about something that we ask ourselves many, many times throughout each and every week, really. Is running becoming too expensive?
Yeah.
Or is it too expensive? That is something that we're going to dive into. I think it's very real.
Yes.
For us and for everyone. But something that we're going to chat about a little bit more in depth. But first, let's do a little check-in. So we've established you have a burger baby, you get smash burgers, you love your pythons, you love being in front of a camera. What else can you tell
That's
us?
a lot of stuff.
That's a lot for the first
Just
30
leave
seconds.
it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in mosquito summer, I call it. We're in the throes of some wet weather.
Yeah.
And with that comes these little mofos, aka mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And there's so many. You're like, it's hard to be outdoors.
Yeah.
For any period of time right now.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of tough with our race prep. We have a race coming up.
Yeah.
In less than 2 weeks.
Oh goodness.
Right? Yeah. Oh, we got like a couple, probably 6 days of training left, 7 maybe.
Yeah.
If we're lucky. And we've been doing that in mosquito summer. So I'm good though. Otherwise, I'm good. Rock solid energy for my burger. I might crash here in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Doing fantastic. I'm so happy to be here, potting with my love, looking into your eyes for a minimum of 25 minutes.
If the audience is lucky.
How are you doing, sweetness?
I'm good. We've had, like you said, mosquito season, but it's because we've had torrential downpours and really unprecedented rain for our area. So we live in what would be called the prairies. Are we considered the prairies?
Oh, yeah. We're firmly flatlanders.
Yeah, sure. Which as mountain people, I firmly identify as a mountain person.
Oh.
Or a country person. So it's kind of weird to be living in prairies. Anyways.
Yeah, my tummy looks like the foothills.
But we've had so much rain. And so it's created this perfect hotbed of mosquito reproduction. And we are both the type of people who have the type of blood mosquitoes love.
Oh, yeah, they love it.
So they just are absolutely obsessed with us. And we're talking like we do the bug spray, we layer it. And because when we're running, you sweat it off so much.
I drink it.
Yeah, exactly. You drink it. Yeah.
Just
you basically PD'd it at this point. But yeah, so they've been really bad. So, but yeah, very humid outside too. It's really interesting kind of weather. We're in like this little kind of climate that we're not used to with humidity and bugs and lots of rain, lack of sunshine, which I've really noticed.
Yeah.
But I'm doing good besides that. I can't believe we have another race coming up so quickly. I don't quite feel ready.
But you're getting amped for it, eh?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm still kind of figuring out my shoe situation, which kind of lends itself to what we're going to be talking about today.
Wear sandals, flip-flops.
Crocs, maybe.
Course record in Crocs.
But
Western States happened not long ago.
Yeah, on the weekend.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That gets you revved up.
This pod will come out after.
Yeah.
Like probably a month after Western States. But yeah, we talked about it nonstop over the weekend, and I was glued to my phone all day that Western States was happening.
You logged a few hours.
I was on the live stream like no other. I was like, we were at the movie theater, and I was waiting in line for popcorn watching it.
Oh yeah, good. At least you waited. You didn't watch it during the movie.
I was tempted, but I didn't want to people behind me to be like, what the?
Toy
But
Story
yeah.
5, by the way, not awesome.
Not good.
You
Not
got good
worth
reviews,
the
but I
money.
didn't think it was that good.
No. But yeah, so Western States they definitely showed up, represented all these athletes, two course records for male and female. Really, really, really amazing paces, amazing speeds, and what an awesome race. So it was
it a
super
male
exciting.
course record?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Male course record,
Good for
female
them.
course record by 1 minute, male course record by, I can't remember exactly.
I didn't know you had the course record.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he got it. So Vincent Bouliard.
I could not remember his name.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay, yeah. I've just been consuming all content even since then too. But that being said,
Mr. Poopy got second though.
Francesco Poopy.
Poopy.
But
Best
we're
name
talking about exactly. That should be your name, I feel like.
No.
Well,
spelled differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Poopy with a Y.
And an O. His is P-U-P-P.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of shoes, speaking of trail running, speaking of running in general, is running becoming too expensive? That is something that we're kind of asking ourselves all the time. And, everything from, it's one thing to say that it's accessible to everyone. You can just walk out the door and do it, which is true. Yeah. If you have a pair of running shoes. But when you get into the world of running, even recreationally, but doing it in kind of a little bit of a competitive manner, and you have specific goals and that kind of thing. And then when you get into trail running, I find trail running much more expensive than road running. You really get the numbers add up, and the dollar signs start clicking, and all of a sudden your bank account starts lowering.
Yeah.
And so we stop sometimes and ask ourselves, like, is this crazy? Is it becoming too expensive? So one of the things that we wanted to talk about was race entry fees. We're signing up for a bunch of races and have signed up for a bunch of ultras, and they are pricey.
Oh, yes.
So race entry fees and everything that comes along with racing.
Yeah, I think just to really cluster it all in here, is it becoming too expensive? Is it too expensive? Is it becoming too expensive? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know you're laughing at me because of this, but I'm piggybacking this. Yeah. I'm not trying to rehash it. I'm just saying I think it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Because when I came into it, I didn't think it would be, but it is. Prove me wrong, running. Yeah. But yeah, race entries and entry fees. I think when I've only been doing this a year.
Yeah.
So to me, there hasn't been like a big spike in race entry price point, but it's definitely high.
It's always expensive.
Been really high, and surprised me because coming from the CrossFit world, I did a bunch of comps there, and like the cost was significantly lower.
Was it?
To do a comp, and sometimes multi-day competitions too, compared to even like a local half marathon.
Oh, interesting. So okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that quite surprising. So, I mean, I don't know if it's always been that way or if there's kind of been this steady increase in cost. And maybe there has been, maybe there hasn't been, but I would say, yeah, it's high. I think for your average person, that's why they don't do that many races. And maybe people don't have an interest in racing and they never do them. In this pod, I think we're focusing more on folks that are wanting to take on a bit of a competitive stream or a very competitive stream of running, but also I think broadly applicable to others as well that are just doing it recreationally. But specifically to race entry fees, I think for sure it's costly.
Yeah, it really is. And the price has definitely gone up, but a lot of times too, you're not just paying for a race entry fee, you're paying to travel to that race, to attend the race, to take your car there perhaps, or, carpooling, maybe getting hotels when you're there, or perhaps camping and the camping fees associated with that. And so there's this whole like myriad of costs that are associated with the race entry fees. Like it's usually not just that. And then meals, right? If you're traveling, you're inevitably going to be eating meals and eating out. And like for us to add the costs of some of our races that are even like 5-6 hours away, they're very expensive.
Yeah, and I think I mean, inflation pressures for sure. You could probably clump in races into like a race tourism, because you're often going to mountain towns or remote locations where there's not a lot of options. Camping's typically an option, but even camping is kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So the competitive stream of running is not cheap. I thought going in that it would be substantially less than what it's turned out to be. And I don't think that that's going anywhere anytime soon. These things are probably costly to put on, these events, to some degree. I don't think it's like there's some sort of nefarious markup occurring. I think it's just an expensive thing to do.
Yeah.
From a company standpoint.
Yeah.
But as a consumer of that product, I find it quite costly.
Well, and I don't even think it has to just be like the competitive lens, because if you wanting to run an ultra, there's no ultras around here for you to run. You have to travel a couple of hours, whether it's north or south or west. I don't know that there's a lot in the east, but you have to you have to travel if you even just want to run a ultra race, right? And then the costs associated with that. And yeah, I agree. I don't think that race directors or races are making actually much money at all, because permitting costs and just even the cost of putting on a race is probably just astronomically expensive. Especially some of the amazing races we've been to. You can't even imagine the cost, and employing people and stuff as well. So, but it's crazy because we do put aside like essentially a vacation fund in order to pay for our race entry fees, and then all the costs associated with that, right? So
it's a good chunk of change over the summer.
Yeah. Fall, so not only the race entry fees and then like the travel and that kind of thing, but we've talked many times on the podcast about shoes.
Yeah, equipment in general. I think just your essential equipment, which, I mean, a lot of people listening probably go, "Oh, you just need shoes." No, you don't. You need other stuff.
How dare you?
Yeah, you need underwear. You need socks.
Yeah.
You need shorts. I mean, the other stuff you can probably a shirt.
Depends on who you are.
Depends on who you are. But there's some essentials, and I think a lot of those things, I think even in a year, I have seen some upticks there, and that's
with the shoe pricing.
I think with shoes and accessories.
Yeah.
And I think that, again, maybe there's some correlation with overall global supply chain issues and some of the kooky stuff that we've been seeing in our world having an impact on product costing and manufacturing costs, maybe distribution. I don't know. I'm not a geopolitical scientist here, but sometimes I pretend I am. But yeah, I think there's obviously a lot of inflationary stuff going on in the world, but I do think that the cost of equipment, core equipment, is generally going up. There's an uptick there. Your shoes that cost 130 last year cost 160 this year, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and I think there's a lot of popularity in the sport too. Like especially running has really taken hold of popularity and not only road running but also trail running. It really has. And they talked a little bit about this during Western states, is that trail running has really seen an influx of individuals like pursuing it and going after it. And I think people find it accessible. And so, with that comes like the gear, the vests, the poles, primarily, of course, in trail running, even the heart rate monitors, the watches,
recovery
stuff that comes along with that. But even just to run is so crazy. And then, like you said, like not only the shoes, but all of the gear with the accessories, the hats, the sunglasses.
Gotta look cool.
Yeah, totally. The flasks.
That's what they want you to think. I look ridiculous and I still run.
We've spent a lot of money on water flasks too, right? Like because you need a certain amount of them. And so, so I think that all of that stuff can really add up.
Did you call it nutrition in too? I think you did say
also.
That,
yeah. Well, and the fueling and the gels. So, a big thing is, of course, fueling properly and adequately for your race. And along with that comes gels
Mm-hmm.
comes the food,
Mm-hmm.
and those gels are expensive. And of
Oh, yeah.
course, we pick one of the most expensive
Maybe the
gels
most
that you could buy,
that I like.
and that's the only kind that doesn't make us nauseous.
Giving me that Buddha belly over here.
Yeah. So our gels are very expensive at $5.75
Mm-hmm.
for a gel.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
$5.75. And when you're consuming 10
Oh, yeah.
or more per race,
Yeah, it's a lot.
and you also have to train with them, it really is
Yes.
an expensive sport.
Yeah, I think if you're going into running in the competitive sense, be prepared to break the bank a little bit. And as you just mentioned, it's not just races, it's training and preparation for races. And if you're doing it recreationally, I just want to put a plug out there to the recreational runners. I think it's cheaper. I think we can definitely admit, like, it's cheaper if you don't intend to be a competitive runner. But it's still not cheap.
No.
It's not without cost. If you want to run in a sturdy, good quality pair of shoes, it's going to cost you some money up front. You'll probably save that on the back end because they'll last you longer.
Yeah.
If you want running gear that sets you up for comfort, it will cost you money. Now, caveat being, you can do all this with crappy pairs of shoes, with Walmart brand socks.
You can. Amazon has a great line of
anything
trail stuff that's cheap.
Truett Hanes runs in jeans.
Yeah.
You can run in anything. I'm not saying that it has to be expensive. You can do it on the sly, do it super cheap if you want, but you're probably not going to like it very much if you do it that way. I can attest to that. Didn't work very well for me.
Yeah. Depending on your distance.
But yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, the cost of a race and of races, race adjacent gear, run gear, as you mentioned, all those many, many things.
Yeah.
Very expensive. And as we've lived and learned, we've kind of, even in our own journey, seen an uptick in cost, and we've bought some pieces of equipment, and then shortly thereafter said, well, if we want to really find efficiency, maybe we should buy the next step up and
better poles.
And we've done that with a variety of different things: shoes, poles, vests, nutrition, steroids.
Peptides.
We're clean peptides. Some other runner was running that. There's shout out Cam Hanes.
Well, you were talking about your pythons earlier.
I know. Yeah, these are real, baby. Real. So this. I think there's a rabbit hole of costs. And I think when you go into it, I speak for myself. I went in thinking, you don't need all that stuff. You don't need all that stuff. You don't need all that stuff. And I don't have all that stuff.
He still doesn't have a watch.
I don't need that. I don't need to see how slow I'm going. But you need a bunch of it, especially if you're going to run races. And I think the probably the biggest shocker to me has been the nutrition side.
Yeah.
It's like that stuff's crazy pricey. And we look on Amazon and we go to other bulk suppliers. You can buy some of this stuff kind of wholesale, but it's still really high. Like the cost is still really high. So you need to shop it. We don't just want to come on here and tell you all that be afraid. Running's expensive. Don't do it. You can shop these things, find sales, buy stuff, test stuff at MRSP full price, and then go out there and look for the deals, or wait for deals. Some of your local stores will have deals. Some of your online stores will have deals, and there's some options out there, but ultimately it's really expensive stuff.
Well, and also like you mentioned, which I totally didn't think about before we started, was that even the app subscriptions, right? So if you want to use the Strava app and use all of its features, you're going to be paying $20 a month.
What's Strava?
The Runna app helps you run and helps you prepare for your next race, but that costs money, right? And so really good tools to utilize if you're running, but pricey. And then along with that could be coaches too, and coaching. So if you want to get to a certain level and perhaps really crush some of your PRs and your goals, sometimes coaching is a natural next step, right? And you've gone as far as you can of your own accord, and then you look and seek out a coach, and then there's a whole host of costs associated with that, right? So Yeah, it can add up. So I think it is one of those questions that, is it really becoming too expensive? I think in some ways it is. But I think, like you said, you don't necessarily need all of those things. I guess, what would you say that a person really needs to spend the money on?
To spend the money on the essentials.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's going to be sunk costs with anything you do.
Yeah.
And with running, you need like 3 or 4 things. Yeah, absolutely need. You need shoes. And I would advocate for you buying a very good pair of shoes. I don't mean like a good pair. I mean a very good pair. Find something that works for you. Spend the money up front. You'll be so thankful you did. Unfortunately, we're seeing the costs go up there. And I think in the sneaker industry, the shoe industry, that's just part and parcel. That's part of it, right?
And it's hard because the problem with the shoe industry is that you don't know until you're physically on the trails. And so I think that we've become victim to that, where we've bought shoes. We've literally done our research, the deep dive. We've bought the shoes and we've thought they'd work. And then once you're actually putting the time on feet and you're out there for 3 hours or 4 hours, you're realizing, oh crap, like these are not working. And that's what sucks, right? That's where the costs can start to accumulate even more, because then you have a trail running closet full of shoes that you don't absolutely love. But yeah,
that sucks. That's a shit part.
But spend the money, do the research.
Yeah, and go to stores that have good like setups for you to try it. We've seen some stores have treadmills.
Yeah,
that's a start.
Yeah.
Make sure they have a return policy that, even if you've worn it on a treadmill, you can return it.
Yeah.
And shop wisely.
Yeah.
It's a big investment. I don't think a person needs a ton of footwear, but a good sturdy pair that you like is fundamental.
Yeah.
And I would say the same of your socks. I didn't know that my crap socks were not just like every other sock. But
he was wearing Costco Kirkland socks for his first.
No, they were Mountain Equipment Co-op socks.
Were they?
Yeah, but they were so hot, like merino wool.
Yeah.
They didn't breathe. Maybe they weren't merino wool, but it was so stupid. My feet were on fire.
Yeah.
The entire time.
During the summer. But
and even worse than that was like ankle high socks that didn't actually fit in the shoe, and they just like slide off, and they were terrible. But good socks and shorts, and I think shirts that I still wear. I'll wear just cotton shirts, polyester shirts, but I know some people have some irritation if they don't have like a quality shirt on. Something breathable is nice, and I think the rest of it you can do without. But they're just good things to have. Hats. The sun's hot. Things.
But those are things that you can buy cheaply, right? Even shorts and stuff. I think sometimes there's like a very little difference between a really expensive pair, $100 pair of like wicking shorts, and you could probably find something a little bit similar at like Walmart or.
And you can find good companies. Recently, we bought some stuff from a company in the U.S. called Terragnata, who's making run apparel.
Yeah.
Equipment, the vest, and doing it for much cheaper than we're seeing other industry leaders do it.
Because he wants to make trail running affordable to everyone, which is amazing, because he did talk about, in his whole vision and mission for his running brand is that it is so expensive and it's become too expensive that to buy a trail vest and good socks and good shorts, I mean, that's some people's entire paycheck, right? Yeah. So he's trying to make it more affordable and doing everything by himself, and really amazing gear.
Yeah, and a nice person who was prompt getting back to us. But it's great to see people out there doing that and putting kind of their money where their mouth is, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, that's big. How about yourself?
For the good quality kind of items to spend.
Yeah.
I would say you're right. I think shoes for sure. I think doing your research and trying to find those shoes is really vital, because again, you don't want to be stuck with blisters and with footwear that you just can't stand. I mean, your biggest tools are your legs when you're running, right? So, and your feet. So you want to make sure that those are protected. I would agree with the socks. It's kind of interesting because, a person wouldn't think so, right? But to spend $25 or $30 on a pair of good socks, it's like ouch, but also it does actually really help with the run.
Yeah.
I've busted so many holes through just like generic socks that I wear for training. And so socks are really important, really vital, especially for longer races. And I think a good vest is actually pretty vital if you're a trail runner. The reason for that, I've dealt with chafing from a vest before. I had some wicked chafing along my back, and it was a good quality vest. It was just quite old.
Yeah.
And so you got to make sure that it doesn't rub, because I have a scar that will never go away now on the back of my back.
It looks good though.
Yeah, it makes me look hardcore. Tough. But a good vest, I think, is good. And I've heard good things about the Amazon vests, right? So it kind of depends on what your price bracket is. But some of those quality items, what we've done too is we've spent like a little bit of money on poles, and we've spent a whole heck of a lot of money on good running poles, and we actually like the cheaper ones better for what we just our preferences. For what we do. Yeah, for what we do. So I think that that can also be something to consider, is that sometimes the cheaper stuff is just as good, right? So,
absolutely.
And I think that ultimately, like, one of our key takeaways is that, we feel like you don't need the latest and greatest to have a good run. You're a good example of that, in the sense that you don't have a watch, you don't have a heart rate monitor, right? You never have worn sunglasses. I bought you a really nice running hat that I stole from you, so you don't have a good running hat.
Yeah.
You don't have a coach. Like, a lot of those things I feel like are things that, because you're kind of newer into the sport, you've really proven that you actually don't need them to be successful at running.
Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe that's why I'm not successful.
Wait.
I don't have these things.
You don't have those things.
I look like a homeless person running the trees half the time. But no, I think in all seriousness, you're right. I don't think you need the latest and greatest. I think if you invest in some high quality products initially, that stuff will probably stand the test of time and last you a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to last you forever, and you might have to replace these articles of clothing, your footwear, etc. You will mile out your stuff eventually, but I think making a good investment in some good products will pay dividends for you and your wallet
in the long run.
In the long run, yeah. And I think the latest and greatest in the sense of like the most expensive or techie stuff, I absolutely, I think that's nonsense, and I think there's a market there. Like, it is the running world is an industry. There's a whole industry built around it. I firmly believe that you don't need $300 sunglasses. Or do you have those?
Me too.
All right.
That would be silly.
Yeah. But
even headphones, like, you have a cheap pair of headphones.
Yeah. They're like 10 years old. You don't need that stuff. But there's a market there. And I think you need to be a discerning customer, because it is really expensive. And now, I'm not saying people that have the expensive stuff that it's not good. I'm sure some of that stuff's great. And you like it. And good for you. And if you're in a position where you can afford that, fantastic. And I'm happy for that person. But if you can't, or if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's not going to, I don't think having iPods.
iPods. iPhones.
What's the
AirPods?
AirPods.
It's like
the AirPods.
You're going back to 2012.
It makes you a better runner. Maybe the sound quality is a little better in your ear.
Yes.
Right?
No.
Does it?
I am a big AirPod person, so yeah, I can't really agree with you on that. But no, I get what you're saying.
Don't keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah,
though.
I think that not keeping up with, and it's easy to get caught up, especially if you run with a friend who has like some really cool stuff. You're kind of side-eyeing them when you're running and thinking, I really wish I had that, or I really wish I had this. You could totally get caught up in that. But I think that just keeping in mind that I mean, they're just things, and sometimes the cheaper stuff is better.
Yeah.
I have spent countless dollars on shorts and shirts and stuff, and I've told you this a million times. I go back to wearing like the same 5 things over and over again, and like I have you do you need to wear different clothing. Or I'll buy my favorite pair of shorts. I have same color, same size, 3 pairs.
But I like that.
Right?
That's good because you know what you like.
Yeah.
And if you buy that in bulk, and you'll have it for a long time.
Exactly.
That's smart to me. And again, I don't want to come off like being holier than thou or condemning people that buy stuff. That's up to you. That's a personal preference. If you want to buy stuff, that's fine. I think that you just it is in its entirety, it can be a very costly pursuit. This isn't a warning to anybody. We're just saying this.
Oh, and I buy lots of stuff.
Yeah,
we're almost coming from two perspectives where you don't buy much and I do.
True.
So all of the things he doesn't have, I have, and a couple of them.
The closets look different.
The bank accounts look
but
different.
You can run with that or without.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think a little dash of this here, a dash of that there isn't going to hurt.
Yeah.
Will I eventually have a watch that hooks to GPS and tells me how fast I'm going? Fuck no, I won't, because that's not required. But no, I might. Especially if it's got some bling on it.
Oh yeah.
A little spinner on my wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think you need to keep up with the Joneses. I think, is running becoming too expensive is really, really personal for each individual, right? It really is an expensive sport. I think put your money towards, like you said, good quality items and also those race entry fees. So we save up to go to these races. That's why we can do so many, and that's why we can spend that money. And so, and sometimes we work overtime and stuff and honestly able to afford it that way. And so I think put your money there to these experiences, to having the good times. And then as far as all of the extra stuff that, comes with a huge price tag that comes along with it, those are all just extras.
Yeah. Maybe put your money where you get the most out of it. Yeah. Right. If you don't have the money and you don't have any interest in races, buy some good shoes.
Yeah.
Go. And if your thing's the 5K around your subdivision,
that's cool.
Rock it. Rock it in a comfy pair of shoes that you can afford.
Totally.
If you want to go do the races and ball out, props to you. Go do it.
Ball out.
Give us a high five.
Yeah. On your way by. With your rich stuff on.
In your Lambo.
Yeah. Exactly.
It reminds me of, for those of you who know what, is it Clarkson Farm?
Yeah.
The guy bought a Lamborghini tractor and it's just terrible.
Yeah.
And he spent and he got it for pretty decent price, but totally in excess.
Just ridiculous.
Nothing works with it when he could have bought just like an old normal tractor.
There you go.
So take it from that
example.
Guy.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, let us know what you guys think. Do you think running is becoming too expensive? Has the sport outpriced you? And is it hard to keep up? Or maybe you don't feel the effects of the price tags rising on some of these items. And so that's okay too. Let us know where you shop. If you find any great things, great deals, maybe there's some secret website out there that has like discounted items.
Give us your stuff.
If
you have nice stuff and you don't use it, just give it to us.
Oh, like your actual stuff. Give us your sweaty old shorts.
Beggars can't be choosers.
That's right. But yeah, leave a note in the comments. Let us know. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.